Hi, Sharks. It's Financial Sharktress Galit Sadiq here. Today's topic is credit. Um, Especially right now, you need to have good credit with interest rates rising and that being a huge factor in whether you're going to be able to get a house, buy a car, get good credit card rates. You know, you need to make sure that you have good credit. And there are a lot of different ways to build credit and maintain credit. But one of the biggest things that my family did for me when I was little, not super little, right? But I think, 17 when I got my first credit card. And my family taught me how to use it responsibly. And the way they did this was my grandmother actually added me under her credit card as a secondary user. And my mother was in charge of monitoring my credit card. Now, they told me from day one, if you do not have money in the bank to pay for this, do not buy it on your credit card. You need to make sure that you pay this off every single month. So the only things that you can put on it are things that you have money right now to pay for it. And that was a very important lesson that I learned, especially with credit cards. It's super important to think about credit cards in that way. It's different when you're talking about mortgages and things like that. If you're taking out a mortgage, you obviously don't have the money in the bank to pay off the mortgage, right? Let's be honest. The majority of people that are buying houses and taking out mortgages don't have that amount of money, and that's why they're getting a mortgage. With credit cards, I want you to think about them differently. With credit cards, I want you, when you make purchases, to think about, if I had to pay this off right now, do I have the money in the bank to do it? Or will I have that money in my bank account by the due date on this card? And you can actually, when you're thinking about it like this, you don't have to wait till your due date to pay it off. You can pay it off that day, right? You can, if you feel like you need to pay it off in smaller installments, you can put down money various times a month to pay down your debt, right? So what they did for me was instill that mentality of, if I'm going to have a credit card and if I'm going to charge something on it, I have enough money to pay it off at the end of the month. My mother was in charge of making sure that I paid it off on its due date. She helped me look over the statements and make sure that I understood what was on them, and that I looked and made sure that all of the charges were mine. So they, as a team, really taught me how to use credit responsibly and how to have a healthy relationship with my credit card. I think most people at that age, if they had been given a credit card with no instruction, they would have gone the opposite direction of being irresponsible and starting to charge up things. Because when you're swiping, you do not feel that pressure, right? You do not feel that loss of that money leaving your pocket. It seems like there's endless amounts of money. And when you are a teenager, or when you're just starting to get your credit, your credit score started, and you've just gotten your first credit card, it's very easy to look at it as unlimited money. It's very easy to feel like you'll never have to pay this off, but you do. And they will continue to chase. If you do not pay it off, they will continue to chase you and chase you, and you will have higher credit rate. You'll have higher interest rates. Sorry about that. Higher interest rates. And it will affect you for long term, right? A lot of things don't come off of your credit report for 7 years. So think about that. A lot can happen in 7 years. Maybe you want to buy a car within 7 years. Maybe you want to buy a house within 7 years. There are things that you need your credit for. So if you are in a position, if you have kids and you are in a position to do so, think about having them build their credit and teaching them how to do it responsibly by taking a little bit on yourself. And in that process, you will also teach yourself how to use it more responsibly, right? When you are helping another person learn it and you are showing them how to read the credit card statement and what the interest rates are and this and that, that will also make you more intentional with how you use your credit. It'll also teach you to look at your credit card statement and make sure, oh shit, I made a late payment. And now a lot of times with a lot of credit cards, if you make a late payment, they are able to raise your interest rate. So maybe that happened to you and you didn't even notice, and you're paying more interest than you need to. Or maybe you've got credit card debt that is accumulating interest, and now you're more intentional about it and thinking about, how do I pay this off multiple times a month when I have a little bit extra cash? Or what can I throw multiple times a month so that I can get this credit card debt out? So there are so many ways to better your credit score. And I'm going to do, I think next week, I will do an entire lesson just on that, and we can talk about it. So please come next week with any questions that you have. I'm going to cut tonight short because it is Rosh Hashanah, which is the Jewish New Year. And so I'm going to go out to eat with my husband, and we're going to have like a really great meal. And I want, I want to have time to do that. And here in Arizona, it is 6 p.m. So perfect time to start getting ready to go out for dinner. But please come next week with any questions that you have regarding your credit score, how to better your credit score. I am here. If you have questions before then, you can contact me at any time. On Facebook, it is Financial Sharptress Galit Sadiq. On Instagram, it is financial_sharptress. My email is galit@financialsharptress.com. I am here for you. I want to make sure that you have amazing credit. I want to make sure that you get the best possible opportunities, that you pay the least amount on your mortgage, on your car payment, on all of that. So if you've got any questions, another reminder. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me. Also, this is your reminder that if you did not get your credit score this year, you are entitled to a credit report from each of the credit agencies once a year for free. Please go and do that. Grab your credit score from each of the agencies so that you know what you're getting into before you go to somewhere, right? Because you don't want to go to that car dealership or go to get your first mortgage or your second mortgage or whatever it is. You don't want to go and get that loan and then get blindsided. Hi, sorry. I hope you guys can see me, but you want to put in the steps now and put in the work now to make your credit better so that when it comes time to use it, when you need it, it is there for you and it is working in your benefit and not hurting you. Okay? Have an amazing night. Happy Money Monday, everyone. And I will see you next week, Sharks. And if you're in the Righteous Revenue group, you will see me on Wednesday for a very special podcast episode with another guest. Have a great night. Happy Money Monday. See you next week. Bye.